I love summer in Sweden, and I want to take this opportunity to show you the beautiful island I live on. Let's have a walk around together, and I will show you my favorite places, hidden parts of the island, and share why I enjoy living here. It actually was a coincidence why we moved here, but now I enjoy and love this place and cannot imagine living somewhere else. I'm Sasha, and we are on Stora Essingen, one of the 14 islands that make up Sweden's capital, Stockholm. And when I tell people where I live, they often say they've never been there, and I'm not surprised, because it is very quiet and green, but it is actually a part of the Stockholm center. And we have an area in Stockholm which is called Innanför tullarna, or literally inside the tolls, or within the old city boundaries, and Stora Essingen is a part of it. So even though it is a central Stockholm, but it is so green and peaceful that it feels like the countryside.
Before we start walking, you might be wondering what the name actually means. Essingen or Hessingen comes from Åsån, which was the old name for what is today Södermalm, and it basically means resembles Södermalm. And Stora in Swedish simply means large, as we also have Lilla Essingen or Little Essingen beside. The oldest building on the island is this red wooden house from 1860s. It used to be a main building of the old mansion. But most of the houses on the island are coming from 20th century.
And if you wonder why people don't know this island, even if they live in Stockholm, the answer is very simple, because we have literally nothing interesting here. No shopping malls, only one supermarket, no pharmacy, not even an ATM. And it is a terminal stop for the bus, and we have only one route here. We have no subway, we have a tram stop, by the way, but it doesn't make any difference. So you have to either be local or to know somebody from the island to have a reason to come here.
It gives you the feeling of living in a small community. There are only 5,000 of us, and we are all connected somehow, either through kids who attend the only Swedish school we have, through the gym since there is only one, or simply as neighbors. Most of the island is private houses, though we also have a couple of apartment buildings.
For a long time, this island was actually protected by the lack of a bridge. Before 1917, the only way to get there was by ferry or a boat. And that's why it was mostly summer house, rural area. And in 1917, this island got a floating bridge, pontoon bridge, and this street actually still keeps its name. It is called Flodsbrovägen, which is literally mean pontoon bridge Street, and only in 1928 this island got its temporary bridge that connected us to the mainland. So that explains why well into 20s the island was mostly rural, green and summer house area. Once the bridge was built, by the way, it's not the original one, that already been replaced. Public transport connected Stora Essingen to the city center, and since it's just minutes away from Kungsholmen, it quickly became a sweet spot. So apartment buildings went up, but mostly in the center of Stora Essingen, because the lakeshore was already divided between private houses.
I love this architectural style called Functionalism for its clean lines and genuinely practical, modern floor plans. We also live in a so-called Funkis villa, a building that used to be a private house in the functionalist style, now divided into 5 apartments. Here is a typical Funkis villa. What's interesting is that the architects cared not only about the exterior, but also designed functional solutions for bathrooms and kitchens. If you ever visit a historical museum in Sweden, the IKEA Museum in Älmhult, for example, or Nordiska Museet in Stockholm, you'll find a Funkis kitchen, a well-designed, built-in kitchen created to make the most of the space and organize it as efficiently as possible. Very often these functional kitchens remain untouched in apartments and houses, even now, with only the white goods swapped for more modern models.
While the apartment buildings on Stora Essingen mostly belong to the same period and style, our private villas are very different from one another. And when we moved to Stockholm, we got very lucky to get to rent an apartment here on Stora Essingen. What we didn't know upon signing the contract, that our apartment actually belonged to a summer house right on the Lake Mälaren.
I mean, I could literally jump from the kitchen window straight into the lake. The year we moved, I swam every morning before heading to the office, every day from June until the 1st of October. I was amazed that it is possible to be so close to nature while living in central Stockholm. The cost of a private house here starts from approximately 15 million kronas, which is about 1.5 million euros, and houses right on the water sell for up to 40 million. Of course, most locals who own a waterfront villa also own a boat or two.
We have a joke that there is a Stora Essingen trap. So once you settled here, you wouldn't want to leave the island. And that is actually what happened to us. Because when we settled, we realized that we don't want to build new connections somewhere else. So we simply moved from our rental to our new apartment, our own one, just 5 minutes from the old one. And when meeting new neighbors, I noticed that they are connected to people I already knew. The old lady next door is the mother of the flower shop owner. And the guy living on the opposite side of the street goes to the same gym. And on the left side, we have our old landlord. Let me show you all our third places here. So we have one supermarket, it's here, and when I go there, I'm sure that I'll bump into somebody I know. We also have one restaurant behind me, Isola Grande, which literally means the big island, so the same as Stora Essingen. And the next door we have a very good sushi place, and if you ever come to Stora Essingen, I highly recommend you to visit it. So one of our two coffee shops is right here. Here we have our flower shop, a good one, and on the bench in front of the shop you may see a small basket. It is our book basket, so you can donate any book that you don't need anymore or pick up one. And once I found a Bulgakov book here in Russian, so I wonder who left it there. We have a nice Thai walk over there, and it is also our bar, so if you are searching for a cocktail, you can go there. And as you probably already noticed, we have no Systembolaget or no other way to buy alcohol other than having it in the bar. Okay, Swedish summer. Did I expect the rain? No. Did I have an umbrella with me? Of course, yes, because we live in Stockholm.
I try to support local business, and rain seemed to be a good excuse to go to the coffee shop. So let's sit down and have some fika. Fika is a Swedish word for a small pause with coffee and some pastry, and yes, we do it quite often.
And as we continue toward the square, we'll find this nice gym. We have only one gym on the island, and I go there, and it is called Orkanen, which means hurricane. It's not a coincidence, and not because we had hurricanes here, but because it used to be a cinema under the same name. This is our square, and it looked like that for almost 100 of years. Of course, this plain green kiosk is a modern addition, and frankly, I like the old one better. And this is our second coffee shop.
It's not obvious and a bit hidden, but we also have a full-size football pitch, since a lot of kids play football.
And here is the place where all local meets, because it's our one and only post office pickup point. Stora Essingen is an island on Lake Mälaren, so local lifestyle is strongly connected to the water. A lot of people own boats or go fishing, and of course all of us, we all love swimming. And we have one public swimming spot, this one, and a couple of wild ones. And what's interesting, Mälaren never gets warmer than probably 22 degrees, so it is considered okay enough for swimming. And also it is very deep, not on this side of the island, but on the opposite it is up to 40-60 meters, and I've heard that once even a submarine was spotted there. Obviously today is a little bit cold to enjoy swimming, but maybe in the weekend.
You've probably noticed how green it is here. In the center of the island there is a rocky hill that is a perfect viewpoint, but also our local gathering place. We go there for New Year, Valborg and other events. I often simply come here to watch the sunrise or sunset.
Speaking about the nature, there are pros and cons to being so close to it. This year, for example, roe deer have eaten out all of my tulips, and they also left us without strawberries. Luckily, they don't like wild strawberries, and we have plenty of them in our garden. By the way, did you ever thought about that? That in Swedish, both in Swedish and Russian, we have a dedicated word for wild strawberries. It is smultron in Swedish and земляника in Russian, but in English we don't have a dedicated word for that. Instead we use wild strawberries. Interesting fact. But on the positive side, it's not only we are who are close to nature, it's actually also our cat. So we decided that we need to leave clothing us to the garden or to the nature so she could go outside, because she really loves it. And so we built a special, I would say, what is it, a ladder or whatever? So this one for her, so she can go out whenever she wants and then go back. And she spends a lot of time on the balcony, especially now when it's summer.
And just listen how beautiful is the bird song at 2 a.m.
Like any local community, we have our church. And church in Sweden, it's not only about religion, it's actually a gathering place for local people. So all school celebrations are often held in a church, not only here, but overall in Sweden. So children, they come here for Christmas carols and also for the school year and in celebrations. And our church was built in 1959. It is called Essinge kyrka. It was built by a very famous Swedish architect, Cyrillus Johansson. It looks ancient, but it's actually quite modern. And let's have a look inside. It is very beautiful.
It's not the only church we have. We have also this one, small, old, wooden, liberal Catholic church close to my house. Let me show you our playground. It has a traditional pluskies, a small artificial pool for kids to cool off in summer. We also have a ping-pong table and other activities for children and adults, plus something very Swedish, a free grill spot. You don't need to pay, just bring your friends and start a barbecue. It is a perfect way to celebrate a birthday. Unfortunately, mine is in January.
Maybe it's just luck to live somewhere that lovely, but maybe it's something in me that matches the local vibe. I actually love this feeling of belonging to a small community where everybody knows each other. You know, this feeling of a shoulder to lean, the feeling that you'll get help if needed, and you can actually contribute yourself, and your contribution is highly appreciated, whether it's just planting some flowers on our streets to make them cozier or helping your neighbors with renovation. I wanted to film this video to capture the moment and the feelings. But also it is my way to say thank you to this island. I hope you enjoyed our walk around Stora Essingen. Thank you for being with me today and spending this time together. And see you in the next one.